My name is Henry, and I got 3 predicted A stars in my A levels, 2 A stars in the actual exam, and also a B in history. Today, I'm going to be explaining what I would do in year 12 and how you should be revising in year 12. I'm going to be learning from the lesson of the B that I got, and also explaining how I did get the A stars predicted and also the A stars in my actual exams. I'm going to get straight into this with point number 1, so please make sure you like and subscribe. Right, number 1 is exam technique. What you need to partially use year 12 for is building up your exam technique and making sure you can either write essays to a high quality or work out maths questions to a high quality, okay? This advice rests primarily on people doing humanities, this specific piece of advice. So what you need to do, and I will explain later as well, but you need to make sure your essay writing is improving. You need to look at A-star examples and build your writing up to that. Because if you start year 13 and your essay writing is not up to scratch, that's going to be quite bad, okay? You really want to use this time to practice essays, even with the textbook open, okay? So with knowledge that you can Google and write down before, but work on your essay practice and your exam technique and make sure that's as high as you can, because then you can focus on putting the knowledge underneath it and making sure you can actually write well in the exams. Point number 2 is understand. Okay, you cannot afford to just not understand like huge chunks of maths or physics or chemistry or any of your subjects, okay? So your revision in year 12 should be focused a lot on understanding things. Say, for example, you're doing maths, okay, and you're doing statistics in maths and you just don't understand it. You should use your revision, use that time to make sure you understand everything. There should not be topics any of you seriously don't understand if you want to get the A stars, okay? You have to put revision time towards working extra hard on things in class that you don't understand. My next point is practice questions. All revision should involve practice questions. Practicing questions, practicing maths, practicing sciences, anything is going to be really helpful. That is always effective revision. For the humanities subjects, you should be doing essays. You should be doing essays quite often, handing them in, because this will help with your exam technique, as I've stated earlier. You should also be preparing revision resources, okay? This is quite important. I used a fair amount of the revision resources that in year 12 that I made I used a fair amount of the revision resources in my actual A-levels that I made in year 12, okay? So this is a really important point because you can use your time to start creating resources. Chances are you're going to forget quite a lot of the stuff. Even if you learn it now and you revise it quite hard now, chances are you're going to forget it by next year. So by preparing resources, you're giving yourself the resources to revise when next year comes around, and you should be properly revising for the exams, okay? I didn't look at a single note I made in my class when my A-levels actually came around, okay? What I did look at was the flashcards I made and the revision resources I made. So in class, start thinking about making flashcards in class or just revising and making flashcards or exam sheets, however you work. And you should have learned this during GCSEs. What works best for you? Start trying to prepare revision resources for when the exams come around, okay? My next piece of advice is a really important one and one of my best pieces of advice for A-star students. You should be working ahead. You should be using your revision time to not just learn what you've previously learned, but look ahead, okay? Ask for the scheme of work from your teachers or ask what topics you're going to do next and commit some time to trying to learn a little bit ahead, okay? I did this in politics. I would always go through the Seneca of the next topic we were going to learn about a month before. This meant when I went through it in class, I understood it a bit better already and I was actually revising it, okay? So that's a really important tip. If you have maybe an hour, 2 hours a week to commit to learning things that you haven't learned yet, that's what A-star students do. That will really push you hard and make sure you're working and going forward in things, okay? So that's a really important piece of advice. My final point is practice questions, okay? You really need to be practicing loads. I've said this before, but I really want to drill home this point, okay? Practice lots and lots and lots of questions. That's a really effective form of revision. I hope that video is helpful. That's just as quick as possible. Some key advice on how you should be revising and what things you should be doing to revise in year 12. In short, you should be preparing for year 13. So making resources for year 13, making sure you've got the skills to get an A-star when it comes about, and also learning what you have done and what you will do in the future. Make sure you understand things as well. I hope that was helpful. Please leave a like. I respond to all comments as well. And please let me know as well what videos you want to see in the future. Thanks for watching.